open. Give us an example as to another reason why I held off this vote until tonight.
Good evening, thanks for letting us be on the agenda tonight. So with me is Deputy Wilson, who you've probably met before, in firefighter Nick Canal, who's the president of the firefighters union. So we're here this evening just to ask the board to consider putting revocation of civil service on the ballot again in the special town election that's coming up. So initially, we were planning on waiting like a year or so to the next spring to try to request that, as you know, failed not that long ago. But after hearing the feedback from some of the voters, and in addition, the situation that we're in with that promotional exam, we're required to do one this year. And if we wait till the spring, that'll be just about the time that a civil service promotional exam will be coming out. So let's say we waited to the spring and the revocation passed, then we would have a pending civil service exam where the results either just come out or will be just coming out, and then they may be invalid after that happens, depending on how we all work that. So from a timing perspective, if we could do that and if it were to pass, it would help out the department huge. So you know, I think that originally it failed for a few reasons. I think one was that people found the wording on the ballot somewhat confusing from some of the feedback that we got. So all these issues we'll try to address to make it clear for people on the ballot to the extent that we can. It's just like Lauren said, there's requirements to what you can actually put on the ballot. We're not allowed to put a lengthy explanation or any of that sort of thing. We're not allowed to put any literature in the polls or have me sitting there answering questions from people or anything like that, unfortunately. I'd be happy to do it if that was the case. People are always welcome to call me or come down to the station, that's fine. I think we could have probably done a better job informing the voters. We did put stuff on our website and on the town's website. It was pretty good information, pretty comprehensive. I think it should have been put out a lot sooner, so we'll address that issue this time. In addition to that, I know myself, town manager, and probably us if possible, would like to do an informational session, maybe on cable access or something like that, to try to get the word out to people, and they can replay that and so forth. And I think, lastly, I think one of the other things that was an issue for us was there was a lot of misinformation from what I understand that was out on social media, right? And in respect of courtesy of time, I'm not going to get into all of those things, but we can certainly address that in that informational session that we do as long as they're willing to work with us on that. So like, for example, one of the things that had come up was, I think somebody had said that they recommended people vote no on it because we have to negotiate that with the union, when in fact that was absolutely negotiated 100% with the union during their last contract negotiation. Following that, the union had a 4-person committee, so that those 4-person committee from the union, in addition to myself and Deputy Wilson, worked diligently. We came up with a comprehensive 18-page memorandum of agreement that addressed all of the areas that would have previously been covered by civil service. So like hiring, promotion, discipline, layoffs, and so on and so forth. Collectively, I think we had probably about 400 hours into that, between doing research and analyzing and trying to come up with the best process. And one of the real benefits to that was all that whole process, specifically the promotional process, was all really honed in to be specific just to our department. So for example, if you take a civil service exam, everybody in the state is taking the same civil service exam. Whether you work for a huge city or a very small town, anywhere in between, they're all taking the same exam. So there can be questions about refinery fires and stuff like that on there, for example, that are totally irrelevant to us, right? So without kind of drawing on, that's kind of what we're requesting. We're more than happy to answer any questions for you tonight, any of us up here. So.
All right, excellent. Anybody have questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Marcia?
Just want to maybe hear from the union rep and just make sure that I'd like to hear from them that they're
Sure.
on board with the whole.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I will say is, our union, the fire union, 2678, the fire union, is in favor of it. We negotiated it, so 2678 union was allowed to negotiate it. We were able to negotiate it, so that's what I'm here to speak on, is the fire department.
Excellent. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Mr. Chair, so looks like there's 2 ballot things in our.
Yes.
I actually have 3.
Yeah.
So we have our attorney on. So
She's not done yet.
one of the things, as Sean mentioned, we thought that people were confused, that they didn't know what the question meant. And we were hoping that we could put language on the bottom, not saying one one way or the other, but just stating that a yes vote would remove the fire department from civil service and provide local control over the recruitment and promotion of personnel. And let people know that current members of the fire department will remain covered by civil service statute in their current rank until they are promoted. And that if it's a no vote, it would result in no change to the civil service status of the fire department, and recruitment and promotion of personnel would remain under state regulation and control. We were hoping that if we could put language like that on the ballot, it might help out. I know East Bridgewater recently put language on their ballot, but Lauren, I'm not sure we're allowed to do it. Lauren, we'll have to weigh in.
Well, thank you. So typically, explanatory language of any kind is not allowed. I'm trying to look at the specimen ballot. I know you had civil service questions on the annual town election ballot. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
But it was just, it's just yes or no, it wasn't.
Yeah, so it didn't have explanations, and that is typically the way that would work. My recommendation in terms of explaining to voters would come, instead of directly on the ballot, it would have to come from information sessions. The town can post the explanation on the website and can make it available to voters who ask for it. We're not allowed to do direct mailings to voters or to kind of inundate them with unrequested explanations, but we can make them available to any voter that wants it by posting it. And again, I would encourage, if there's questions about what it means, the fire chief certainly has the ability to speak to that and to prepare explanatory materials. But it is correct that we can't kind of take them with us into the polling place. So that, I'm certainly willing to see, whether there's anything that we could do to argue that a summary of some sort would be permitted. And if what the board wants to do tonight is vote to place a question on the ballot, maybe the vote could say with such summaries may be allowed by law. Because the actual summary language is supposed to be drafted by council anyway, so we would have a little more time than to come up with a strategy.
Okay. That makes sense. I know we want to try to get the ballot perfected tonight, so Lucia can order them soon, so. I'm okay with that. Alec, did anybody else have anything? Alec, did you have anything to add?
No, I don't.
All right. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry, Chief, one more quick question.
Sure.
Sorry.
No problem.
This question already passed at town meeting, correct?
Correct, October, not exactly.
23?
22, right?
22?
Yeah.
No.
23rd. Yeah, of 2023.
Yeah, so it just last October, it
Yeah.
passed at town meeting, so.
Just legally, you have to go out of civil service the same way you came in, and it was town meeting vote and then followed by a ballot vote.
Okay.
Alternatively, you can go to the legislature, but there's a whole bunch of them pending right now in the legislature. So there's a lot of people getting out of civil service, we'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Problem.
Chief.
All right, Mr. Chair,
Mr. Smith.
should we get this chair show on the road?
We absolutely should. We're waiting for Lauren, right?
Sorry, go ahead.
Did you have enough time to read through everything?
I did, and just for everyone's amusement, there I was